All right, we're now done with configuration of the recorder, and the next step here is we're going to hook up the battery, and we're going to do that before we disconnect the USB. And the reason is that if we set the clock in the recorder, which is in particular important, it's essential if you're doing standalone operations where you're not doing GPS synchronizing and get the GPS timestamp. So if you're relying on the internal clock of the recorder to have the proper time, you don't want to disconnect the USB first, lose power, therefore lose the clock. So you hook up the battery pack here. It clips right back in here. Kind of dress up the cable. Like this. You can still adjust that later. Put this in and swivel it like this so that the a battery ridge here, a battery is aligned with the center of this cradle, and that holds it in correctly here. It doesn't matter, it's symmetrical, it's a triangle, so you can put it in 3 different ways and they would all work. And then now I just want to make sure that my power cable here doesn't jump out of there and then give us trouble getting the thing back into the housing. So the next step now, I can remove the USB cable, and unless you use the EDR command like I explained before, this will just switch off, now go to the off state, and we can proceed with the next steps. So what are the next steps? Well, one thing that's actually quite important to do is to inspect your O-ring. Is it all clean, or is there maybe a cut in the O-ring? Is there some debris, some sand, some hair, whatever? It needs to be perfectly clean. I am also going to show you how to remove the O-ring from the groove to give it a full inspection here. See, with this little tool, it's actually quite simple. O-ring material is quite stretchable, so I can stretch it out of here. Now I've taken it off. Now I can take a close look at the O-ring groove and make sure there's no debris in here whatsoever. This is all looking good. Then your recorder will have come with a little tub of O-ring grease. You put a little bit on there. Beginner mistake is to have gobs of it on there. You don't want that. No gobbing at all. Just a nice, shiny, smooth surface. That's all. I'm going to get it back in here again. I have to stretch it quite a bit. Currently it's a little bit awkward because I also have the battery in and I don't want it to fall out by accident. Oh. Alright, my O-ring is in. Right. Now, putting it back together, excuse me, is rather straightforward. Oh, I forgot an important thing. Before I put it together, put this Velcro over the SD cards. Again, point being that the SD cards can't skip out of their slot for you and losing recording that way. So now the electronics assembly goes back into the tube, and I am already watching my alignment pin here, how it's going to align with the one big hole here. Oh, is my Velcro going to fit in? Yes, it does. Sometimes it takes a little bit of jiggling. See, now we're going here over the alignment pin. And now I'm just going to go like this. Notice I didn't use any force, and I'm stopping now. And I'm looking in to see if my O-ring is properly seated. It's not wanting to jump out of the O-ring groove somewhere. And as I'm pretty happy with that, I'm still going to keep an eye on it and put it in, and it should kind of sunk in. I don't know if sunk is a real word, but there it is. There was a little sunk. And it's in here, and I'm looking, no O-ring squeezing out. Please take that serious with O-ring squeezing out. If I had not looked at it and just kind of forced it down like this, maybe I would have pinched the O-ring, and then that would lead to flooding of the recorder, so we want to avoid that. And then finally, put these 5 screws back in. You can hand tighten them first. Okay. So note as far as they want to hand tighten. Again, don't over tighten them, just a snug fit. The end cap might seat the last little bit of its way, so I'm just gonna do it like if I was securing the nuts on the tire after changing the car tire, kind of not going in sequence but sort of across. That's it. Nicely assembled recorder. Again, make sure don't put it in the water without both connectors terminated. In this case, on this other side, there would be a hydrophone that connects. That's it.